Panharmonicon presents a podcast.
When you hear the word go, you just try to grab it. Ready? Ready. Go.
Scooching tiger, hidden dragon.
Oh, is that like scooting on the ground on your butt
Instead of
people?
just like the very majestic sort of like beautiful
the,
floating.
like, jumping, flowing. It's just them like scooping.
like a skipping a stone.
The martial arts of crouching, scooting tiger, hidden dragon. Although I don't think it would be a dragon at a certain point. What would you do?
But if the scooching, there's no crouching though.
So could you not? Sorry, sir. I'm sorry. Do you bring that up to say like then it can't be a tiger? So it has to be like scooching.
Well, no. What I'm saying
scooching and
is that,
eater.
like, if scooching is replacing like the jumps, then that's not crouching. Isn't doing this. So like, maybe that's the hidden dragon part.
That would make sense because dragons, like
Yeah,
mythology, they fly.
So then what would be doing that though? Like what would you replace if it couldn't be crouching tiger? Like it was scooching.
Well, no, it'd be crouching tiger, scooching dragon.
Because you have
So
to
we're
crouch
also-
to scoot. So
Do you?
I think it's probably safer
Well,
instead of just like straight up dropping cheeks to the ground.
what do we? Well, drop them cheeks, drop them cheeks, drop them cheeks, drop them cheeks. What do you? I guess how do you? So do you consider a crouch just you changing your elevation? Like this is simply it.
I would
Or
guess
is
it would be like a pause to like truly hit the crouch. Like you go down into the crouch or squat, and then you hit the scoot.
You go down into the crouch or squat and then you hit the scoot. Well, I guess like so crouching doesn't mean that I bent my knees. Like I'm bent. I am perched in a certain position.
That leads to the question of what is a crouch.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is a crouch just you? Like, could you just bend over at the waist? Would that be crouching?
Yeah, I mean
Or-
that's well. I don't think people would say that. They're like, if you just bend over at the waist, especially in certain cultures, you're like, well, you're just bowing.
Or would you need to like squat?
I think it's part of the squat is where you get to the crouch.
Yeah.
Because you're hidden a little, like
But I think
you're.
you also kind of got to be hunched over a little bit. You can't be like bareback. Like you can't be like straight back squatted.
Well, that's the beauty of this though, is that in this version that they are so majestic with how they can scooch in their butt.
that is the squat.
That's the squat. Yeah, like they don't even go into
Or
a
the
squat
crouch.
position. They just kind of like imagine we all just stand up and then we just very lightly push ourselves off of. You remember that scene in Kung Fu Hustle where the dude was just kind of like floating in the air, like his body was like he had the buoyancy of like a leaf and he was just floating through the air a little bit.
Yeah.
Like that. Like you just push yourself off the ground and then you just gently float and you
Into
start
the
scooting.
scoot?
Yeah, you float into the scoot. So at that point, if we can't say that there's any crouching, how is there still a tiger? So do we have to replace the animal? Is kind of alternating. Like, and if you had to replace the animal, what would you replace it to? Like, what animal scoots like that?
Or what animal crouches? I think I've lost the thread here. I'm not gonna lie.
But like a dog that does that like butt scratch, would that be a scooch?
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Of just like they got worms or something,
Oh,
and then they scoot across the carpet.
So
okay, yeah.
I mean, is there the crouching part? Is still the question because there's no real crouching in that movie.
I guess tigers do crouch though. Like they
Yeah, before
Like
they
what do you
pounce
call that? Like
Yeah.
pouncing? Okay.
like the pre-pounce
Yeah, like the pre-pouncing like
body position,
position they gotta get in. You call that a crouch?
really loads the legs to explode through
like little
with the
springs.
motion. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's scooching dog, hidden dragon is what you were trying to get at.
or something. I don't know, like maybe a sloth.
Whoa,
The sloths
hidden
don't-
sloth.
They kind of like just.
They hang out.
I mean, they crawl.
They can swim faster than they can
They can.
crawl.
That's
So,
terrifying.
They just got big limbs.
Is it? It's just a sloth.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and they're like,
It's still pretty like slow. Like you could outswim. a
oh yeah, I
sloth.
could outswim a sloth. Okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking it turns into like the Flash as soon as it hits water.
Well, it's just more like of like for me as a human being being in water, what are things that I would expect to see coming at me?
Oh,
And you know what I'm
sure.
saying? So because it's not sloth, I don't have like an image of that. There is going to be that learning curve of like,
It's mostly you just see like their little, because they're like wide enough that they kind of like sit at the top, and so you really just see their head. I did a whole presentation on sloths. That's the only reason why I know this.
I also just imagine they would still have that like same like face, like that like smile face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I've ever seen a sloth in like a panicked, like with like a sense of urgency face.
Yeah, that's fair.
Probably just be taking like the waves as they go, just moving a little bit at a time.
Well, folks, as you can tell, this opening was brought to you by Mel Brooks.
It would fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would fit. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the soon-to-be famous podcast, Panharmonicon Studios presents
A podcast.
Yes.
Episode 49.
Episode
Whoa.
49.
Out there, yeah.
We're scooching closer and closer to number 52 in our year anniversary. Thank you for taking the ride with us, riding along. And I am one of your hosts of Panharmonicon Studios, Damon.
This is Andrew.
And this is Farron.
And today, as he hinted at, we're going to be covering a Mel Brooks movie. Again, the much better Mel Brooks movie this time. This one's going to be Blazing Saddles.
I was like, what? Solar Babies?
That was a Mel Brooks?
Wow. Like a big producer. Yeah.
They directed. No telling
God.
what Solar Babies would have been like if he directed it.
He would have been.
I think it would have been
the Warden.
Spaceballs before Spaceballs.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he would have definitely had a character in there. He would have been probably
Multiple. Yeah.
He'd have been something, given his old Yiddish.
He would have been the ball, maybe.
But before we get into talking about our little movie here, and it's not really a little movie; it's actually a pretty big one.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get into it, how are you guys doing?
I recently, Resident Evil Requiem came out last week, and that is a game. Like, that is an amazing game. Like, I should probably put the adjective there before, rather than just being like this benign thing that just wasn't good or isn't good. I have no idea where I am. I haven't played it as much as I would like to, but what I have experienced has been amazing. It has been absolutely amazing.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I guess, super red herring there. Like, this is a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Red herring. Also, before you get too much further into that, for those listening on this, hopefully this Monday, part 1 of his playthrough is already on our channel.
Yes.
So if you don't mind spoilers and you want to see how Farron plays horror games, definitely give it a watch.
Thank you for that. I don't know how many. Yeah, I tried to. I think I may have cut this out when I was editing it, but preface, like, I play very slow. I am the type of person who I am looking for everything. I do not just kind of do like a first run through, just like, hey, let's focus on the story and then do a second one. I like to try to like get to everything in one go. Not to say that I won't ever replay the game, but just more like I just get so curious about certain things. I think especially coming from that like old school era of PS1 where, you still had video game manuals that you had to figure out crazy stuff, dude. Like, I even mentioned this, I think during my last recording, but like Metal Gear Solid, when you had to figure out that you had to unplug the controller and then plug it into a different port in order to beat a boss. Like, I just don't see, one, because we're not wired, I guess, but I don't see.
Metal Gear Solid has 2 of those.
What was that?
In addition to the plug into the second controller, on the back of the case, there is a codec number. And if you don't have the case, I think you can try to figure it out, but to reach someone, I can't remember who it is, but I think it's a DARPA chief maybe, you need that codec number, and it's on the back of the case.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's super cool stuff. So I've like been very closely looking at everything that I go around and pass and make sure that I can't break stuff. So I'll go up to a vase and I'll just be like, oh, you didn't break. Okay, this next one. Give me a little antique coin, It has been absolutely terrifying. At one point, I got a notification on my watch, and it was like, your heart rate just recently, within the past 15 minutes, reached 120 BPM.
Oh.
It's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just playing Resident Evil.
That's awesome.
One of those for your next
heart rate monitor.
Yeah. Your next playthrough.
What about you?
Oh, I've been good. I got the Game Boy Advance emulator for the Switch. I was like, let me upgrade my services here. And they have Link to the Past, which I remember being very fun and very hard as a child. But I don't know if it's just having a full frontal cortex helps. Okay. Because I was like,
that was the very first SNES game I got. I got it with the SNES. So I think I was 6 when I got it. I did not beat that game until I was like 13. That game,
that sounds right. Yeah,
was very like. It's one of those things where like before I just been playing games where you just went left to right, and that was it.
Yep.
And then this was like, go where you want to and figure things out. And it's like, I don't know how to figure things out.
Yeah.
I am a child.
Right.
So, yeah. Early on as a kid, it was very hard.
Yeah. Because I didn't realize there was a fortune teller that just kind of gives you a hint of like, something's going on over here. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should go over there. But yeah, so cruising through it a little bit, I'm still in I just did the 3 medals. So or the pendants, whatever they're called. So the first 3 bosses is where I'm at. So now I'm a little lost again because it's talking about the Zoras and I'm like, I don't see these people. What am I supposed to do? So, hey, still as an adult, still kind of stuck.
They're up in this northwest corner of the map that I feel like I've been in, but I don't remember seeing them when I was up there.
Right.
Man, it was a much different landscape trying to play games like that when you were much younger. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That's... Thank you, prefrontal cortex.
You know, it would have been great to add to the GBA emulator on the Switch. Would have been Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah, they could have just given it to us instead of making us pay for it. Yeah.
On top of the $20-something you gotta pay.
Yeah.
Whatever. It is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, they gotta get their money somehow.
If they don't get enough of it. So, I recently crossed over 39 years of age. My 39th time around the sun has just begun. Is it my 40th or my 39th? Have I gone 39 times around the sun and now I'm on the 40th, headed towards 41? Or is it... I'm 39 is what I'm getting at.
Well, I would imagine you've done 39 complete...
Yeah, because you come out at 0 and then you go to 1, so then it's the same number.
So it's like the millennial thing.
Yeah.
Millennium thing, right? Like how the millennium didn't start till 2001 because there was no year 0.
Yes.
Because I have a year 0, I am the... So I've completed 39.
Yep.
And I'm headed towards 40 day by day, step by step. So I played this demo. I've been playing a lot of games, but I played this demo on Steam for this game called Windrose, which is a survival game where you are a pirate and you had a ship, but then Blackbeard's people just boarded and destroyed it. And they killed you. But you had this medallion you found right before you died, and it bonds to you and it brings you back to life. So you pop up on an island and you need to gather resources, find people that you lost on the ship, including the doctor that was on there, and reassemble a crew to eventually gain a base to eventually get a ship so that you can try to get back at Blackbeard. Unfortunately, the demo only gives you 3 islands, and you get the ship.
Oh, and then it ends.
Here you go. Wait till we want to charge you. But it was really fun. And I also Core Keeper recently had an update and added some more stuff, so I was back into that. And then I started playing Division 2 again because Division 2 is in its anniversary year. I
was about to say that's a decently old game, right?
It's been 10 years since the first Division and 7 years since Division 2. And so it's kind of just a culmination of anniversaries for both franchise or both games in the franchise. And one of the things they added is this thing called realism mode, which if you've ever played Division, if you haven't played Division, Division is a looter shooter. Most people would say akin to Destiny, even though it is as old as Destiny, in which you are third person action. Not primarily, all gunplay. There's no other weapon other than a gun. And one of the things about it is that it's a video game. So there has to be some bullet sponginess to it. Otherwise, you would just one-shot everybody and be gone. However, with realism mode, it is closer to one shot. A headshot kills. It almost doesn't matter what the enemy is, because there are big tanky guys that are super armored, so you have to wear down the armor to expose the head. But the instant the head is exposed, if it is a headshot, they die. Fortunately, they can't seem to aim well enough to
do it to
headshot
you. Okay.
But you do have far less like health and armor than you do in a normal game. And unfortunately, in addition to that, you don't have any access to all the cool guns and stuff that you have in the base game. Basically, you're starting over inside of like a part of the game, which is based in New York. So in the Division 1 is in New York. The Division 2 is in
Boston?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, that's what.
But there's an expansion DLC on Division 2 that puts you back in New York. So you're in that. And the enemies you have that face have access to like flamethrowers and fire bombs, napalm and stuff like that. And so you want to kill them because they can very easily kill you. But your guns are also in realism mode, which means they don't really have stats. They fire relatively poorly because there are now more RPG elements. So you have to like find armor and accessories that boost things like accuracy and stuff like that. And ammo is very scarce. In regular Division, ammo is everywhere. I hardly ever ran out of ammo. Now I have to be very careful because all the ammo crates, stupidly enough, in my opinion, still show up, but you have no access to them.
What?
So they're just there.
Yeah.
You see it, but you can't like interact with it to get ammo. And enemies very rarely drop ammo.
Can you make ammo?
And you cannot make ammo because there's no crafting. So you just kind of have to go piecemeal by piecemeal. Now, fortunately, the pistol has unlimited ammo. However, the pistol sucks.
Of course.
I run up on people and I'm like, pow, 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 pow. And it takes like 20 bullets sometimes before they finally be like, oh yeah, I died.
I'm sorry, is that the case even in realism mode? Or is that...
That's in realism mode. In regular mode, there is...
I don't know.
I think it's just because it's like crazy... I think it feels like you're almost shooting like airsoft pellets. But like, I think it's just wildly inaccurate.
Yeah.
So unless you're like directly up on top of them,
I'm
thinking that the game is just like registering misses but not showing the misses. So you have much better guns in non-realism mode. So a pistol, you could just like, if it were to be put into realism mode, like you'd probably just be one-shotting with it out the gate. So those have been the games I've been playing. In addition to Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. I don't know if I said I've been playing it.
I don't think so.
I've been playing Kenna for a while now. It was going to be my like game to put on the channel, but I stopped talking through large portions of it. So I was like, okay,
you were just
not do this.
You just got actually absorbed into the game.
Yeah, I was
awesome.
getting too into it. And so they were just like, I was like, I had been playing, and at one point I looked over and it had been like an hour and a half of me playing without saying words, and I was like, okay. I'm not gonna do it.
You could do
I'll
like
choose another game to do it just so that because I don't want to have to
go back
and
that's fair.
That would be kind of like
Well, I guess, but also though, just to throw out there, I mean, I don't think that I would still personally like to see it. I mean, I
you
wouldn't
can't
say
see
like
it. It's on my Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm streaming it, so like.
Oh, okay.
So the playthrough is there.
Yeah.
Okay. It just doesn't have me talking on it because they're just hard spots. I was like, oh, okay.
No, I feel that, man. Like there might be times when you just get lost in the sauce and you're honed in, dude. You're focused, and
that game needs focusing because it's so weird. Like it feels like it should be an easy game. The platforming and things like that are relatively simple, but then you get to like having to fight something, and suddenly the game wants to be like almost like a Souls-like.
Whoa!
It's like you suddenly like you don't have much health. You don't hit very hard, and you got to do a lot of dodging and parrying. And the parrying window is like
brutal,
the size of a tick or something like that. It is so narrow that you just have to like be on it. Like otherwise, you just get like hit around a lot. But I enjoyed it. It's a very beautiful game. It was made by guys who it's their first game, and they had only done animation before that.
Very cool,
and you can tell. Because it's like playing a very well made Pixar movie. It's like really beautiful that way. And I started playing it because I had it, but never touched it. But the sequel just got announced. I was like, I should probably go play this before the sequel comes out. It also just got announced for Switch, which was very interesting because I always thought it was just a PlayStation game.
Yeah,
apparently it was not. So that has been me. That has been our video game talk.
Chicken.
And now we're going to get into a different game.
Yeah, what do you got for us?
They like to call this a brain teaser.
Brain teaser.
So today, instead of doing one that I made, this is going to be a poorly explained movie plot brought to you by the subreddit of a similar name. And as usual, I will be giving it to the boys, and the boys will be determining if they can figure it out. I think this one will be figure-outable. In this movie, a privileged man grows bored with the meaningless of his life and starts killing people. Co-workers, women he's seen, his friends, random people. No one is safe. No one can stop him. And in the end, he gets away with it.
American Psycho?
No.
Oh, that was what I was going to say.
I could see that. Unfortunately not.
Explain poorly. Is it The Great Gatsby?
That'd be crazy.
I mean, they kill someone,
he
right?
does kills a person, I think. Not too many people.
Batman?
No.
Oh, yeah, I guess Batman doesn't kill people.
What is that movie with Michael Douglas? One Bad Day? It's where he's like a teacher or something, and then he just loses it and starts shooting up LA or something.
That's not it, but...
Or is it Postal? No, I think it was One Bad Day.
It was One
Bad Day.
Postal wasn't. That's a Yuri. No, not Yuri. Anyway, it's not that.
Okay. All right. So, what year? I mean, era?
You want the era or the era?
I feel like...
What would the era be?
I guess
I don't know. Like,
the 90s to the...
Yeah. I guess when I
the
say era,
aughts.
I think about like
The modern
a range of
the
10
decade,
years.
yeah.
Oh,
So
the
maybe I should
decade?
just say decade, yeah.
It's the modern Neolithic. The 90s.
The 90s.
The very beginning of it, to be exactly.
Oh boy. See, once you go before like 98, and
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
wow.
Because
Okay.
I feel like the genre is kind of a gimme. So I don't know if that would help. Can we hear it again?
What do you mean it's a gimme?
please?
Like, as in, like, you know what the genre is? So
I'm
like,
sure
hearing
it's
it would
probably
just
like,
be-
yeah, like, oh, action, maybe comedy or horror. I'm like, oh, yeah.
What if I said it was action, sci-fi, cyberpunk?
Oh,
Action, sci-fi, cyberpunk.
that would be not what I thought.
Action, sci-fi, cyberpunk. Early 90s. He starts killing random people because he's bored with his job, bored with his life.
He's just bored with the meaningless of his life.
And then he gets away with it.
Johnny Mnemonic?
No, not Johnny Mnemonic.
I think it's I would say a Kurt Russell movie. Keanu Reeves.
Is there a Mortal Kombat movie that's old? That is that old?
Not early 90s.
Mm.
I think Mortal Kombat, the first one came out like 95. So right around the
Gotcha.
midway. What could this be? And we have 2 minutes. 2
Star
minutes, 10
Wars?
seconds.
The Phantom
It would
Menace?
have been great if one had come out in the early 90s. I'm
Star
sure
Wars.
that's what he wanted at one point in time.
Yeah.
Probably.
George of the Jungle?
Yes, he can be.
I'm just trying to...
He got the George Lucas. It went George
Yeah.
Lucas and then he just went George of the Jungle.
It was
George Lucas
movies
of
I
the
might have
Jungle.
seen as a child. Well, I saw both of those as a child, but just... Jurassic
Okay.
Park?
It's not Jurassic Park. I mean, unless the privileged man is a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Hey, man, when you think about...
It's
yeah.
explained poorly, so I'm just throwing
Yeah,
curveballs.
I mean, honestly,
so...
because it might turn out that he's not even killing them. Like,
Right.
You know, it could be totally...
Yeah.
Dave's like, no, there
I
are
recall, I was
views.
supposed to say, I recall him killing people in this
There are,
movie.
okay. So he actually did. So it sounds like it's pretty straightforward. I guess let me ask you this. You don't have to tell me what the red herring is. Are there any red herrings?
Oh, and
in
it's
your...
like, no,
Yeah.
not really.
It's
no.
pretty straightforward then.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Like, I mean, it's a little bit like flip it, and like how it's being described, but it's relatively straightforward. There isn't any training like flips in this one.
The Rocketeer.
No. So I'll give you the year is 1990 when it came out.
Space Odyssey? Is that?
2001, A Space Odyssey.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it was like-
I mean, it didn't come out in 2001. But like,
No, yeah, that was like
Maybe.
the 60s, I think. 60s or 70s.
The
so this is
main
90.
the starring actor has been in a movie that we've covered. I know you say like there's been 40 plus movies that have done that by now, but we've only covered one movie that he's been in.
Hudson Hawk?
Wrong person, no.
Oh, that's it. Was the right actor?
No, not.
No. It wasn't Bruce Willis?
No.
We've done 2 Bruce Willis movies, though.
Have we?
Fifth Element and Christmas.
And Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Oh. Damn. Yeah, no, you got me there, buddy.
I appreciate you throwing out answers.
That was time, by the way.
Sure. There, though. Well, I shouldn't say you were getting there, but you did understand the idea. It is 1990's Total Recall, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Whoa. We've only done one Arnold.
And it was also in the holiday
In the
month,
Christmas,
the same,
yeah.
like...
Mm-hmm.
Jamie. Turbo Man.
Wait, that's my dad? Like, no other human sounds like that. He's the only human that sounds like him.
He is, but somehow they just... They couldn't tell. Maybe the Turbo Man outfit like changed his voice for them or something.
I think that's what they said, but then it didn't come through in the movie. So it was just really badly
right?
done. Yeah.
I think that was what we had to use our imagination on. That.
Like, could you imagine? You know how like they would do when they get like these witnesses to give testimonies, but they like
they like
their face
yeah,
and
that
their
voice
I feel
modulation.
like Arnold's one of those people who like you would
You
steal.
would
Like, is that
immediately-
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
I think because it'd be like, be like, there's a lot of eyes. Like, yeah, eyes.
Well, now for the feature presentation.
Feature presentation.
Blazing Saddles. I do not have a synopsis queued up here.
I don't really have a synopsis written. But
How would you explain it?
How would I explain it?
Yeah.
A railroad worker gets shanghaied into becoming a sheriff for a very small town, and it is the hijinks of him winning over the town and also protecting it from the tyranny of greed, aka the railroad company, I guess.
Who was he?
Well, Headley Lamar was, I guess he was Headley.
It's so hard to tell what Lamar.
Yeah, because he was like almost
what he's the head of there,
right.
Because I'm assuming he's a
Part of
railroad
the-
baron.
Yeah, because he's like with because it was the governor. That's who Mel Brooks' 1st character was. So he was like on his like cabinet or like or I guess maybe an advisor.
He might have also just had some type of influence.
Yeah, that's
on
true.
The governor, but
I
not
mean,
actually
yeah.
been. I mean, at that period of time, you could have been anything.
You could,
As long as you weren't, like,
they're shooting people.
As long as you're not black.
Yeah,
you're pretty.
Yep.
You're pretty okay to get pretty far into places without having to like give too many like credentials or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was actually a very concise,
Thank you.
perfect
Wow.
synopsis of this movie.
It's it's in the same realm for me as Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
It's very
of like one of those
like this one in particular is very much like that.
Yeah, like those adult comedies that I was shown as a child that I'm like, oh, I thought this was really funny, and then seeing it as an adult, I'm like, oh, it's still very funny, but like here's all these other things that I missed because
Yeah, it is. Like, I was watching it and I was like, this is like I've seen other Mel Brooks movies. This one is very much like Monty Python and Holy Grail, and it's also a much better Mel Brooks movie than Solar Babies. Blazing Saddles was released in February 7th of 1974. Budget of $2.6 million with a box office of $119.6 million.
Wow.
89% versus 90% critics to audience ratio on Rotten Tomatoes. 7.7 out of 10 on IMDb. And a 3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Movies out while Blazing Saddles was blazing the theaters. Well, okay, so it's very hard to get information pre-1977 for some reason. But Great Gatsby did come out during the month.
Whoa.
That's during February of that year. So I'll just give you some movies that came out that year. The Towering Inferno, Earthquake, and Airport 1975 came out back months. All, oddly enough, disaster films. The original Longest Yard came out, and ending the year in December were both The Godfather Part 2 and another Mel Brooks movie, Young Frankenstein. So Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder
I was about to say, wow, they did a good amount of
the
movies.
same year.
Yeah.
Did 2 movies together. So that is Blazing Saddles. And what did we think about that movie?
Well, this is both of your guys' first time watching it. So
Yeah,
you
it
want
was.
to go
Yeah.
before me. Because I love this movie. Coming back to it, I was like, "Oy," a lot of slurs. But that took me aback. And I was like, oh, sorry, guys.
No, you're good, man. I as I was watching it, I was just kind of like, I get it. Like, I get why this movie is talked about in such high esteem. Again, it's one of those films, and I think this month going back and watching, especially Westerns, because it's definitely Westerns were way bigger back in the day before any of us were alive than they are now. And there's so many movies of that vein that I've seen referenced, that I have seen posters of, that I have heard people hold in such high esteem and have never sought it out. And then so many movies this month has just been like, yep, I get it. I see it, and definitely it is one of those. There are a lot of slurs, but at the same time, I think, who was it that said that, did Mel Brooks collaborate with Richard Pryor on the making of this? And who really just kind of said, hey, you should probably actually
lean into it.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that you that was
Richard
talking
Pryor.
about that? Who was I? Sometimes I forget who I was talking to about that, but they were like, Mel Brooks was actually apprehensive about having that many slurs in there, and then Richard Pryor was just like,
I almost feel like you can tell. Because, it's so weird how strong they were out the gate.
Yeah.
And I was like, I even rose. I know the times and acting and all that, but there's just some casualness going on here. But then, there's just, a random period in there where they, play around with the concept of censoring it. And I'm like, I guess they were doing it for comedic effect, but it also felt like they were doing it, they're like, okay, maybe we got only an allotment of the N-word, and we can't keep using it. Because during the period where they, I'm forgetting his name, but
Bart? The sheriff?
yeah,
Bart?
he's coming.
I think.
no, yeah.
The town, the dude, he's like, oh, the sheriff's and then noise comes up, and then
yeah.
that happens cooking 10 times before they go back to using it. I'm like, what was that part all? Maybe they were using it to the effect of being able to be they won't know until he finally shows up.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is that I feel like that was, but
it was just weird to do that at a period of time where you had already used it 50 times before.
yeah. But I think in that moment, especially because at that point that would have been his first introduction to any community as a sheriff, right? In a time like that, you probably would never expect somebody that looks like us handed over
The reins of power.
yeah, to have that level of authority over a town that is obviously predominantly or virtually all white people.
I was going to say predominantly.
I think it's 100%.
It was 100% until he showed up.
I thought that intro was so funny to me, just flipping expectations on its head. Because you have the people who are antagonizing basically the people probably working for nothing, if anything at all, on the railroad, right? He's like, sing us a song! And they go into this beautiful barbershop. Some people do cocaine! And they're just perplexed.
Yeah. Camptown racers. Dude. Yeah. Just... I guess it's leading into the other stereotype of just, stupid white hillbilly.
Yeah.
So
because they were definitely...
Yeah, they were very
sing
dumb.
us a song! Eustace Band!
It would be crazy if that was the dude.
Wow.
Wouldn't that...
Might have to look that up after this.
Bags.
Also plays Railroad Authority and Blazing Saddles.
I also gotta say I really like Gene Wilder in this.
Yes. Yep.
Because I've seen other movies with Gene in them, and this one I feel was much closer to how he acted in Willy Wonka. Almost was like he had a mysticism or mystic quality about him that made it even though it was all comedy, you still felt that there's this. It always feels sometimes with Gene Wilder that there's a craziness behind him. It's just that he's suppressing, and so he does this other character that covers up the craziness, and it could always slip at any moment, but you just don't know. And I really felt it in this one. even though it felt like he kind of came out of nowhere, and I still don't quite understand, because I felt like I was paying attention, but I wasn't sure like why he was just allowed to be chilling in the.
I think he just kind of just
and
he's just the town drunk maybe. Like he is just already there when Bart walks in, so he doesn't really get an introduction. But I feel like at least in this movie he got to be like more silly than in Willy Wonka.
Oh,
so
he definitely did. I think in Willy Wonka it was more like, I mean, there is a threat in Willy Wonka that just you don't know. It's so weird because I don't know if the plan was for him to seem like he was a serial killer, or if the plan was for him to be this like cartoonish character.
Yeah.
But it was like a cartoonish serial killer.
Yeah, just like, oh, the kid fell in the river of chocolate. Oh, well, I'm not going to do anything.
And his like just flippant nature about these like children potentially dying because he knew they weren't dying was just very like, it always left you like, is he okay? Here, he was definitely okay, but you also had that like idea because of the fact that he had that whole story about being like the quickest draw. And then like, I can't tell if he killed that kid or if it's just that the kid got the jump on him, therefore he stopped.
He like didn't want to shoot the kid, so he turned away, and the kid shot him in the ass. Right? And then he was just like, I think I'm done.
So he's just like, I'm done. Yeah, and that's like a weird, like, I'm going to turn to the bottle because the kid shot me, shot me in the backside. But like, so it felt like he could just like kill at any moment, but he just chooses not to kill. So there's still that kind of little bit of equality, but he just played it off extremely well. And I guess maybe him also being the only like pro-black white person in the film helped. And Bart came up to that old white lady.
Yeah. And then the scene where she brings the pie. Yeah.
And sorry for calling you.
Let's forget about the up yours.
Yeah. But, and then she comes back, but don't tell anyone it's here. Oh, surely. Like, just the way, and I think you brought it up, just like the scene with Bart, and then, what is Gene Wilder's character's name? Because is it Billy it's not Billy the Kid.
It's not Billy.
It's not Billy the Kid. It was, I almost think it was Billy the Kid, but it was something the Kid, wasn't it?
The Waco Kid.
The Waco
yes.
Kid. I remember the kid was in it.
Yeah. The way that I guess the sense of humor of the movie, like especially when it's Bart, Headley, and the governor in like Headley's office, I think. And he's like, like if I should insist. And he's like, oh, insist. Like he just has all these like little chime-ins that are just so funny.
That you bring that up reminds me there's that scene, and like it almost kind of seems like a scene where they just had extra footage, and so they were already done filming the movie, and they're just like, I wonder what kind of just funny things that we can come up with between, like, just to test the chemistry between our two main characters. And it's you for whatever reason you just have Bart, and Bart it's like a close-up, like a medium close-up, and he's just staring almost like directly into the camera, but Gene Wilder is next to him, almost like very close, but talking in his ear, and he's just talking about like, what did you expect to happen? Yeah. Did you expect they're going to invite you in for dinner? Ask you to date my... And then he breaks character and just starts laughing. I love that so much because it's like, how could you stand not to laugh?
Yeah.
If he's talking like that to you.
Right.
And just kind of... Just making it very obvious, the situation that he's in, and like, it was kind of a silly move, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, they're how does he phrase it? It's like, they're the salt of the earth, morons.
Yes. He just starts cracking up.
It's so good.
In that scene where he gave the example of how quick his hands are, the most... I rewound that part like 10 times.
I just love them having him do it. Because I was like, I wonder how they're going to like play this out. And then just not having him do anything.
And then he just pulls it out of the holster.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
Because I kept looking like, did he actually move his hand? And the clap that you hear when Bart misses, it reminds me of that scene from that one episode of SpongeBob, where they all join that league, and I have to say Spider-Man, but SpongeBob gets the super speed ability.
Oh, you want to see me do it again?
That mountain? Want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
Also, Gene definitely smokes, because when he had that, like, he rolled up that like cigarette and he gave it to him.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not between the fingers. It was a pinch. Yep.
Oh, that killed me. Honestly, this movie was just hilarious.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah.
And every single time that like you would think that like there was going to be like a little bit of lull in comedy, like nope, there's some more for you. It was just jokes on jokes. It was just like, I don't know what Richard and Gene and Mel and them was doing in the writing room, but it was just...
I mean,
they were cooking.
You just demonstrated what they were doing in the writing room.
Yes, they probably were.
Yeah.
That part when what's her name's character?
Like the German lady?
Yeah, the Bavarian.
Yes.
Shows up. And they're after like I guess they consummate when like they're in then the next morning and he's just kind of sitting back and he's like, "Would you like some more Schnitzengruben?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Please, 15 is my limit on Schnitzengruben."
Yeah. It's like, whoa, baby. Yeah. Oh, what a nice guy. Oh.
The mere concept just sitting back and she just 15 is my limit on Schnitzengruben. I was like, it was just it had to be that quick.
Yeah.
It just felt like sometimes it literally felt like they may have been just like kind of riffing.
Yes.
Like while they were just working, and it just worked out every single time.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote after that, I was like, this movie is like inches from being a faux blaxploitation film.
Yeah.
Because it gives that like it almost gives him like a black pirate fantasy. And then the movie continued. I was like, oh, this actually is more centimeters away from being a Tex Avery cartoon. Because it is a cartoon made like flesh.
Yeah, very true.
Like, it feels like a Looney Tunes.
Yeah, when they break the fourth wall, I guess it's not even a fourth wall, but like when they break out of the studio into like the other, then they're just...
It's so funny because they started like, they showed that advantage like the camera had on the fight happening. Yeah. And I was like, you can really tell this is on a camera lot or like on a lot. And then it just started going further. And I was like, are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was almost like they knew that someone was going to be like, oh, this looks a lot like a lot now. Yeah. It's just like, where's the whole lot?
Doing it's showing then all the other projects that are being produced at the same time.
Yeah, and then they're in the lunchroom.
Yeah, and it's just I was like, that is so, because you just would never expect it. Just out of nowhere.
It is a cartoon for sure.
But you know what? As soon as I saw that scene, as I started to realize what was happening, I've never seen this movie. And spoiler alerts right now for anyone listening who's never seen the movie The Village. Again, though I've never seen The Village, I did have the ending of that spoiled to me when it turns out that basically the entirety of that movie is. Do you know like that movie? No, it's a M. Night Shyamalan movie. So
the twist,
what the twist? So, of course, all of his movies usually have twists. Mm-hmm. And the movie the entire time takes place at what looks like in an older, like sort of almost like mid-1800s, sort of like Salem witch sort of kind of air about the setting to it, right? But at the very end, you find out that the movie doesn't actually take place during that time. That it's just like this isolated group of people who have been living this way. But then, like, the rest of the world is modern. So the movie came out in like 2004. So basically... the rest of the world is living in 2004, but you see this little community that's living in
1800s. Yeah.
And so I saw that and I was like, I wonder if M. Night Shyamalan was just watching Blazing Saddles. And he was like,
that was the inspiration. Yeah. Wow. If only. I hope so.
I'd love to see a M. Night Shyamalan movie where the twist is there is no twist.
It's just the movie
throughout the entire way. And people just keep waiting for it, and it just never happens.
It's just like a rom-com.
I know I can't remember if we talked about this before because we're reaching our 1-year anniversary, so there's been a lot of movies. Older films in the way that they're shot. Like, there's not as much kinetic energy, like, between, like, momentum built up between shifting shots, right? So it's almost kind of like usually a scene is done... like the takes ultimately are longer, you know, like you're not cutting together 8 to 10, 15, 20, 50, sometimes different takes to make a scene happen. So like, what do you think that was like? You know, like being able to just, I feel like it would have made experimentation easier with your other actors because you're allowing this thing to live out, I guess, to kind of like explore these different avenues because you have 5 minutes to do this take rather than, oh, hey, we just need this fill-in shot. So just say this line for 20 seconds and then that's all we need.
Mm-hmm. I think it gives like I'm sure for actors it probably was a lot like better, especially because like with this movie, I feel like it gave them the time to what I think when they might have been riffing. I think it gave them that time to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And it also gave like Mel and them time to be like, keep that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, no need for another take. Let's just keep this going. And it also probably I think it's probably a reason that movies tended to be cheaper. Because I mean, you may use like 2 cameras as opposed to now where there's like 15 cameras all around, trying to get every single shot. So you just had these like long takes, and then they were big fans of just like wipes. We'd be like, here's the next scene. And then like I think it also helped those. I think it also kind of helped movies feel kind of closer to TV. Because you also saw that with like sitcoms and things like that back in the day. Where, it was just the set.
Yeah, you come down these fake stairs.
Maybe 3 cameras, like the 3 camera setup, and then everyone just does the scene. If it needs to be done again, it's done again. Just let them live in it, and then move on to the next thing. So I'm sure. I think it was a smoother process probably for them back then.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't have editors probably weren't tearing their hair out. Being like, oh my God, I got to fill this with CGI now. Get the CGI boys in here.
Yeah.
And it's like, in your credits didn't have to be like half the length of the movie.
Dude, I literally made a note where I was like, man, the credits for this movie are 35 seconds long. It's 35 seconds.
Wow.
Compared to what you see today where, you're at the end of a Marvel film. And granted, there's scenes that they add, but I'm like, man, you're in
I think
it
it's,
for like 10.
I was going to say 5 at least, yeah.
At the very least. At the very least, it's like 5. But it also kind of seems like you're sacrificing a level of control, or maybe it just required a greater level of professionalism from your actors because you can't miss marks. Like, I would imagine that you would at least want takes to where it was unraveling just as it was supposed to in the script. But then also, so there's beats you probably want to hit within that scene. But, everyone has to be on point. Like, somebody slips or trips, you just lost, especially at the end of like a 6-minute take.
That's true.
Yeah, because you probably aren't going to cut that up just to like do the back end of it.
Yeah. I mean, is that also like today how the difference of, I mean, obviously I've never been in a movie that's done this way, but like when you're working in front of blue screens and green screens all day, you have to pretend like this dragon exists. We have to pretend like there is a wall or factory, creating stormtrooper clones behind you. And, you're truly just relying on all of this imagination and like maybe like an earbud in your ear to say, look to your left. Cause that's you looking at, and it's just a wall of green. Like, I wonder really how that does affect, especially actors who have been able to act both pre and post. Like somebody like Ewan McGregor, for instance, who has been in movies like Trainspotting, but also, Star Wars. You're Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I know. I'm blanking on his name, but the actor that played Gandalf.
Oh yeah,
Ian. I was about to say McKelson, but it's not McKelson.
Ian McKellen.
Yes,
I was thinking
thank you.
Summerhold. I think that's the dude from like Vampire Diaries. But sorry.
No, you're fine. But yeah, he like made a comment of just like I think for the last Hobbit movie, he was like, "This isn't what I like thought movies were." So like it's like at least if you've had that much like experience in the old way of doing things, it might be jarring to be in just in front of a big green screen.
It would feel. I get it. I get it to a degree, like why you would need to do that, but at the same time, it just feels so artificial.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's why you see a lot of like directors. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of, but you do see like several like big name directors kind of scoff at like these newer movies, like not one of the Marvel fire and be like, "Well, I'm not here to direct a bunch of people inside of a big green box for like 3 weeks."
Yeah.
So there's an artificialness to it, and I do see like an understanding of that, like kind of like genuineness now since we have been watching so many older movies, especially in this run, to the point that like that part where you were saying kind of like where it looks like what would you have to do if people like tripped or slept or anything like that. Sometimes I think they've been keeping them in because they're like because we've been watching so many like Western movies, horses are a thing in them.
Yeah.
And it's like either you have perfect control over a horse or you have no control over a horse.
Right.
And sometimes it feels like they don't have control of the horse, and they're like, well, we got to leave that in. Because there's like one, and I'll probably remember the movie later, where like I think someone was running in the like there was supposed to be like a shot at the horse, not to like hit it, but to scare it, and I think it like genuinely scared it, and the horse just like took a big fall, and the dude that was on it just like and then he like had to get up with the horse and then like just go off. I was like, I wonder if that was supposed to be like that, or if it was just like
you just gotta walk off falling off of a horse. Yeah, that is interesting, man. It also makes me wonder about like you know how like football they say play to the whistle, like play to the whistle, play through the whistle, right? Of will you see generation over generation, like if we like as we are like to your point, like going back through all of these older movies, is there this loss of being able to act to the whistle, you know what I mean, or act to the cut? Because probably in a time like that, if you're used to your takes being, and this came to mind because there was the scene where I think you're introduced to the mayor for the first time, or the governor. I forget what Mel Brooks' character, the governor, mayor. And it's just one static shot, and it's all just playing out and unraveling before you, not cutting to this person to see their expression, or cutting to this person to see that, or a knock on the door. Let's linger on a shot of the door for 10 seconds. So when somebody trips, or when somebody says the wrong line, or if somebody is unable to take off their coat as quickly as they were supposed to, like I can imagine that in today's, this is again just my speculation, but like I would imagine that because you're so used to things just being a 15 to 20 second shot, the camera's just rolling for that short amount of time, is it easy for you just to be like, oh, shot's done, we'll reset and let's do it, versus then where you're like, well, no one said cut, so
you gotta live in it. Yeah,
you just gotta live in it and play out and see what happens. Let's see if we can get to the next beat that we're supposed to have in this scene and push through.
And I will say that one thing, I think because of that situation, these movies sometimes, even though they might actually be relatively like within the range of like the length of current movies, feel longer. And I think it's because of those like long just takes on like a scene where you're like I think my like current probably ADHD rattled mind is like, you can move on now.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we can't. Like, no, you can though. You can move on a little bit and go to the next scene.
I definitely get that feeling of like where it's, I guess to your point of like lingering on a thing, it's like, oh, we saw the horse ride off. Here's the hill. Here's the hill.
Yep.
We're still at the same hill. It's like, okay, we get it.
Like, you think at this point, like, are they coming back?
Right. It's like, is there something gonna explode? Like, what the heck?
I'm like, no, we just wanted to. It's a beautiful scene, wasn't it?
Right. This is really pretty.
So I'm curious, do you remember your first time seeing this?
Vaguely, because I want to say I was like maybe like 10 or 11.
Okay.
When I saw it for the first time. But I definitely remember like I was in my parents' basement. Like I remember where I was. I just don't remember like all of it.
They're just movies that just had that special, like just how it sits in your memory.
Such a, like the setup of that was like, that's how like kids find like porn. I was in my parents' basement, and Dad had this little stash. Instead of porn, you're like, I was watching Blazing Saddles.
I mean,
it was hilarious.
Maybe one of my first rated R movies. Who's to say?
I was about to question that, and then I was like, "There's no way this wasn't." Just simply because of like the words being used inside of it, and like some of the activities within it.
My goodness, what a profit! Holy moly! You say 2.6 million budget versus 120 something million box office
back in what
1974?
74.
Yeah,
like wow.
To do that and then come out later that year with Young Frankenstein, which I think also did very similar numbers. It was like Mel was living it up. No wonder he could fund Solar Babies.
I was gonna say that was Solar Baby money right there. That's how we got it.
I'm on top of the world, hey. Because I'm on top of the world, hey. Yeah, I mean, I had to feel great having two bangers.
Yeah,
in the same year. Like, how often does that happen?
What, on the opposite sides, right? You say
February and December.
Wow, yeah. Right when the Blazing Saddles money was starting to dip a little bit. Here's another.
Yeah, because we know from Our
Like it's really like
It stuck around.
I mean, honest to goodness, it did almost run into like Home Alone almost ran into Home Alone 2.
I'm not surprised.
So like, yeah, that's pretty wild. And with that, is it any more thoughts? Any more talking about Blazing Saddles other than giving our little?
today I want to know. When you are watching a movie and you are wondering how you will rate that movie, do you ask yourself? Do you ask your woman? How many Panharmonicons does this get, Andrew?
Which question am I supposed to answer?
Oh, then how many
Just that
Panharmonicons?
Okay. I was like, I don't think I've ever asked Maura. Like, oh, how many Panharmonicons do you give this?
I'm sorry, no, spoken word poetry.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you for.
You sounded a lot like the dude. Willie Dynamite. I don't know if you've ever seen Willie Dynamite.
No.
It's a blaxploitation film that is a scene in it is the scene all the pimps get together. And it's basically where Black Dynamite got its scene from. Okay. And there's the dude who's like at the head of it, who Big O is in Black Dynamite. He talked just like that. He's like, we got to collectivize all these pigs, all these hoes out here. What you gonna do about that with the dynamite?
But I sell drugs to the community.
Andrew?
I'll give it a 5. This is, I think, just, nostalgia plus it actually, holding up. So I think this is a pretty easy 5 for me.
I will not give it a 5, unfortunately.
That's
but it
okay.
is a 4.5 out of 5.
There we go. There's a 5 in there.
Yeah. It's, I was just laughing from almost like right after, basically when they started the singing part. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. All the way to the end. Just a hilarious movie. I called it just a collection of jokes wrapped in a Wild West motif. And that's not like derogatory at all. It really is just like singer after singer, bit after bit, repeated jokes that hit because they are like just building on them in like just different ways. Loved it.
Yeah. Same here. I was just getting a 4.5 as well. I think it's absolutely just like another example, I think of why I am beating myself up for underestimating just the true treasures that exist, that have come from our past, that have come from, a bygone era of Hollywood. Because as much as I have heard about this movie, like I mentioned before, I never sought it out and like thought to go watch it. But then again, coming up with this list, my guy, banger. Thank you.
Yeah.
Banger indeed.
Thank you guys for watching it, because it's one of my faves.
Banger Sisters, starring Susan Sarandon and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's an actual movie. That is an actual
I'm just glad it was, because
yeah, I was like,
what?
Is this a command? I will politely decline.
And I'll also never confuse it with City Slickers again.
There we go. Now we know
this movie is actually much funnier than City Slickers, and City Slickers was relatively funny. What would you give Blazing Saddles? And let us know that in the comments. If you are so inclined, please give us a subscription if you enjoyed this. Also, if you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't so much, give us a thumbs down. But let us know, in the comments, what we could have done better. What could have got that thumbs up out of you. If you're on Spotify, if you give us a follow. If you already followed, thank you so much. We're up to 7, getting there. And give the show a rating out of 1 through 5. Let us know how you feel about it, and also let us know what movies you'd like to see us do in the coming months. We got some good ones lined up for you. We got some funny ones lined up for you. They probably aren't intentionally funny, but they're going to be funny regardless. But most importantly, thank you for listening and taking your time to hang out with the boys today as we discuss Blazing Saddles. For Panharmonicon Studios, this is Damon.
This is Andrew.
And this is Farron.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Panharmonicon Studios Presents
a podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Out of you. Some get a kick from cocaine.